I'm told we're going to start straight with questions for the student athletes. We'll get Coach Crean here shortly. So, questions for these guys? Back here.
Could you guys sense the absence of Verdell Jones today?
Jordan, we'll let you take that one, please.
Yeah, definitely. Having a good player like Verdell, not being able to play for us, it's pretty difficult. But our motto all year has been next guy stepping up, and we have the guys on the bench who can fully do that. But you can't replace directly a guy like Verdell. But you know, we just got to adapt to that.
Right out here.
How difficult is it to stop a Wisconsin team when they're shooting like that, and seems like everything's fallen from beyond the arc for them early?
Christian, will you take that one, please?
Oh, it's difficult, but I mean, you know, we did some crazy stuff. We just wasn't playing intelligent on the defensive end, and they hit some shots.
Over here on the left.
Cody, you only finished with 1 rebound. What were they doing defensively, keeping you from pulling down some of those rebounds?
I mean, some of it has to do with them shooting threes, but a lot of it has to do with me, you know, not getting low enough. You know, I got to crash offensive boards harder. You know, I got to give a better effort.
Right here in front.
And Jordan, with the win yesterday and the competitive loss today, what did you guys really get out of these 2 rounds?
Well, we always want to compete and obviously win. But I feel like we played hard, but we have to play a lot smarter to carry that into the next games that we have to play. So we got to play more intelligent and, you know, get that team chemistry and keep building on that.
Right in front.
When you guys say you didn't feel like you were playing intelligent on defense, what does that mean? I guess, what did you feel like you guys were doing wrong? What wasn't, you know, working for you on that end?
Jordan, you want to stick with you?
Yeah. Just whether it's switching, whether it's closing out with a hand lower than it needs to be on a shooter, they're just rising up and hitting shots and that are pretty much open. So we just got to communicate a lot better, and that's just part of being intelligent.
Right here to Terry.
Jordan, until that 3-pointer you took at the very end, you didn't attempt one. Matt Roth didn't attempt one. Were they just taking that away today?
Well, I was just trying to be aggressive off the pick and roll, and so my shots were mostly just pull-up jumpers. I wasn't going to try and force 3-pointers if it wasn't there. So for me, that's what I really felt like it. But as far as Matt or anybody else, I mean, that's probably partly on my fault too, not driving and kicking enough and finding the open man on the 3-point line.
Right back out here.
Christian, I know that you obviously don't want to lose in the tournament in the second round, but having those couple of days before selection Sunday, does that give you guys a little bit of a chance to catch your breath and get ready for the NCAA tournament?
Oh, yeah, it does. But, I mean, you know, like you said, we definitely didn't want to lose today. But, I mean, we'll go back home and we'll get ready. And we'll, you know, find out where we're playing and who we're playing. We'll be ready.
Just before the game, what, if anything, did you guys know about Rob Wilson?
Cody, you want to take that one?
I mean, our coaches do a pretty nice job of doing the scouting reports and stuff for us. We knew that he could shoot the ball, but, you know, we gave him too many openings, especially once he got hot. You know, we didn't change anything, our defensive strategy to get out on him more.
Got time for a couple more for the student athletes, if there are any. Okay, thank you, fellas. You may turn to the locker room. The Indiana locker room will be open until about 5:15. It's about 5 o'clock right now. Coach Crean, if you would, please make an opening statement, then we'll go to your questions.
It was a high-level game in a lot of respects. High-level offense, we shot almost 50%. They shot almost 50%. Rob Wilson had his best game I've ever seen him play. I mean, I'm not at Wisconsin, so I don't know if they've seen him play better. But as we told our team, he was the most improved player on their team since the first time we'd played him. He had a great game at Ohio State. And he had really brought a different dose of energy to their team when he was in the game. But to shoot it the way that he did today, in the last 5 games, he'd hit 7 threes, and today he hit 7 threes. Now, some of them were reading screens wrong. Some of them were overhelp situations. The one late in the game where we helped on the Taylor drive and left him was a mistake, no question about it. But they don't put anybody out on the floor that can't make shots. But as far as us scoring, we weren't having a lot of trouble scoring. ourselves, we should have made it a little harder for them. But again, it was a high-level game, and we had some guys play very well. They had guys play very well. The difference was Rob Wilson played tremendous, and his aggressiveness and the way that he shot the ball. Sometimes we were right there, draped on him, and he made shots. Other times he was a product of good ball movement and our overhelps. But the other thing I would say about the game is every time we were close to getting momentum going back our way, they made a big play, and it was usually Rob Wilson making that play.
Questions?
Coach, kind of like what I asked Christian, just the fact that you guys do have a couple of days to rest up, get healthy for the tournament, what will that mean to this ball club?
I'm not sure. You know, we've been getting a lot of rest as it is. Our guys have a lot of energy. They're fresh. We didn't lose today because we didn't have energy, and it was both teams had it. We won't make a lot of changes. I haven't really thought that far ahead into that structure, so we'll get together as a coaching staff and decide what we need to do next.
Right down here.
You obviously kind of started on this answer a little bit, but in terms of just defending the three and some of those things, just what all just didn't particularly go right there?
I think the over helps. I think the key with any great driver is you've got to keep your chest in front of the ball. And a couple of times we didn't do that. And Ryan Evans played very well, without a doubt. And Taylor, as much attention as we gave him, he did a good job of moving the ball today. And again, they're a highly skilled team. And to have Rob Wilson playing that way, for them, that's you can sleep a lot better at night going into the tournament, knowing that you've got a guy that's got those capabilities. But again, we knew he was playing better, and but to shoot it like that, he got hot. We didn't do a great job of changing that. We put different guys on him. But a couple instances we went under screens. Another instance we overhelped on the post, and another instance we totally helped on the drive when we should have stayed connected to him. We really wanted to do a better job than what we did of staying connected to some of their shooters. But at the same time, when you have breakdowns on the ball, then that's going to create help situations.
Back out here.
I know Will returned to the game, but how's he doing going forward? Is there any kind of long-term
Well, it's hard
issue?
to tell. It's hard to tell right now. I haven't had a chance to talk to Tim Garland, our doctors, so we'll see here in a little while.
Wisconsin did a good job taking away Victor Oladipo, or at least making him work for his shots.
Making away what now?
Like making Victor Oladipo work for his shots. He didn't shoot particularly well from the floor. What all did you see that went into that?
Well, we still shot 50% almost for the game. I mean, and we didn't take a lot of threes. Frankly, we didn't need to. I mean, we got the ball in the lane. We got the ball into some post-up situations. We wanted to get to the foul line. And Vic, it wasn't one of his better games. But, I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement in him, and he's improved a great deal this year. So we fully believe and expect that he will. But we're asking him to do a lot, and he's been doing a lot more for us since the first injury to Verdell after the Michigan game, or during the Michigan game, and been a big part of why we've played so well. And now with Verdell out, he's got to do even that much more. But again, for him, so much of it comes down to how he's defending. And he did some really good things in shooting the ball in a couple decisions he'd probably like to have back, but we're very confident in what he can do. Terry?
Tom, did you ever get an explanation as to why they wouldn't go to the monitor on the Elston charge?
The one late in the game? It's not reviewable, they said.
Any other questions? We got one back here. Actually, let's get Bob, and then raise your hand, Bob.
Tom, I'm just curious, what did your scouting report say going into this game about Rob Wilson?
Well, we said that he was, and again, in the short time of preparation, we watched as much film of him as, if anybody, he was the most improved player in our minds since we'd played him the first time. And he didn't do a lot in that game. But really, the Ohio State game at Ohio State was where he really, I thought, came to life for their team. So in the last 5 games, he was averaging 6 points, but he'd made 7 threes. He was shooting 39%, I think. And we knew that he was an X factor because of his aggressiveness and his attack ability. And there were times we were there, but there were other times that we weren't. And Certainly when you begin your plan with Jordan Taylor and Ryan Evans and Jared Bergeron, but Rob Wilson was fully accounted for in the way that we prepared. It just didn't look that way today, and he got really, really hot. And then we didn't do a great job of taking him away. And again, some of the threes he made, he earned them, and other ones he made because he was open, because we overhelped on the ball. But we were fully aware. I mean, Rob Wilson's been a factor for them for some time. But again, he really had been playing well for them. So in a short period of time, we just didn't want to let him get a lot of middle penetration. He's got a great burst and explosiveness. And again, when you don't have your chest in front of Rob Wilson, or you don't have your chest in front of Jordan Taylor, those are problems. And there were too many times today we didn't have our chest in front. And they hurt us with quickness, and that created the helps.
Take one more back in the back.
Coach, I know you're disappointed about today, but looking ahead, come Sunday, knowing what this program has been through the last 3 years, you know you're going to be selected. Just talk about what that moment's going to be like for you and this team. Well,
yeah, I'll probably think more about that later. I'm not really in that mode, but it's well earned. I know that. As I've said to this team many times, you have to earn your way in that door. That is a tough door to get in, and the door gets, the room gets a little smaller once you get in, and that's where you don't want to beat yourself. And I'll be excited for these guys. I mean, they've earned their way, and I mean that there's nobody that's handed them anything. There's nobody that they weren't anointed the group to go back to the NCAA tournament. I mean, they really, really had to work. So in that sense, I'll be really happy for them and look forward to seeing their faces and the families of the staff and my family's face. And about 15 minutes later, it'll be time to start planning for who we're going to play. Okay?
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.